Hi, good morning friends, it's Tanny the Canadian Stamper. Sunday morning, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. I have a fun card today, looks like this. We're framing up the designer series paper by Stampin' Up. Usually I craft on Saturday mornings, but I had a thing yesterday and next weekend, so we're doing Sunday. For crafting this weekend, we're going to jump right into it because we're going to die cut, and I'm also going to use the trimmer. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks on the trimmer with how to create the white layer in there with your trimmer. And yeah, it's going to be fun. So let's do it. Let's flip you and get rolling. Good morning. I see you jumping on. I don't even think I'm going to mess with my view this morning. All right, so last weekend, I lied to you. I need to mess with my view. Last weekend was the Craft and Chat, and the Craft and Chat had this project. And we're going to do, the designer series paper is a different piece, but this is what it is. So if you're just joining, we're gonna do, whoops, there we go. What's happening? Oh, there we go. Die cutting, trimmer. Here's a kit. So when you come to the Craft and Chat, this is the kit that you would have. These are the dies that we're gonna use. Textured note dies and then mixed florals. I just want this one for this piece, and we're gonna do it with designer series paper just to add a little something to the outside. So this is the beautiful gallery 6x6 paper is what we're using today. So it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. It comes with a whole suite. This is the one we're using today. I have coveted it because it's such a pretty piece of paper. So this is, obviously I've used some of it, but you get the idea of what it looks like. Painted designer series paper, and then all my scraps. So I keep everything in these plastic folders. Yeah, so that's that. Now the other thing that I'm gonna do, or that we're gonna do, is the right words. This is a brand new stamp set. I have used one, so I'm gonna show you how to mount. There's a couple of different ways, but we're gonna do a sympathy card. So I know it's Father's Day, but my father died when I was, geez, how old was I? 19? No, 18. When I was 18, my dad died in a helicopter crash. So it's been a long time since I celebrated for my father. So anyways, we're doing this. This seemed like a sympathy type of a card. I have a card for Lance for Father's Day. It's an oldie goldie. I gave away last weekend, the Scenic Adventure Suite is what we used, and I gave away my card. It was supposed to be Lance's card, but then I found this one, which is also kind of a nature-y. This is an oldie goldie. All right, so let's get to it. Let me bring up your comments so I can see what's happening. We're gonna go over the contents of our kit first. Right after I bring up your comments. So all the measurements will be in the newsletter. That'll go out later today actually, because there I am. In the newsletter, because today, Sunday, is the day for newsletter day. So I'm gonna put in the comments here the newsletter link. If you're not signed up for the newsletter, then you have the details. I know, Gail, I thought of you when and I'm like, I think this one is the one Gail said was her favorite. So this is the Secret C cardstock matching ink, new in color. I've got a white piece for the inside, which is just 1/4 inch lower. So that goes on the inside. Then I have a piece of the cloud cover, which is a new in color as well. Then we're gonna take this piece, which is 1/4 inch. Is it 1/4? Might be 1/8. Might be 1/8 actually, 1/8 lower. And then we have our two pieces here that we're going to make a frame, essentially. And then this is a piece of the designer series paper that was like that, just to see, give you an idea of what I cut off. Measurements will be in the newsletter. And I'm going to have a PDF of a printable PDF with the measurements and a photo. That'll be new for newsletter subscribers. I might throw it on YouTube as well, but we're going to use the designer series paper. So this is a really good way to use up your little scraps. We're going to do this. We're going to cut that and we're going to add it to the front. All right, so that's that. Let's get to doing our frame because that's kind of the coolest part. Let's move all this other stuff. So I have my mini stamp cut and emboss machine. Good morning, Carissa. Hi, Terry. Oh, Jan, I was thinking about you last night. I was watching a show and I thought, you know, I haven't heard from Jan in forever. I wonder how she's doing. And there's your name. Popped up. Anyways, I hope you're good. So sometimes what happens when you, can we see this? Oh yeah, you can see it. When you put your die cut down, it bends this way. So I just give it a little flex. Why do I do that? Because then it sits flat and it moves around less. Today's just going to be full of tips. I should really grease my machine so it's not so loud. All right, so this is die cutting if you're new to this. And there's our piece. So we could do this, but I don't know that it's going to be my vibe this morning. So that's that. Now we want to, I'm hoping this fit. Will this fit? Oh yeah. All right, so if you have these dies, this is the one we're doing. Looks like that. That's the imprint that it'll show. All right, so we're making our sandwich. Bumpy side of the die down. Where's my top? Oh, here. So this is the mini stamp cut and emboss machine, just a little tabletop one for smaller dies, die cuts. Oh! Kate was over yesterday and oh my gosh, good grief. That was a lot. And Kate said, I think I might invest in a electric die cutting machine. Does anybody have an electric one? I'm sticking with old school. Okay, I think we're done with this. Now I'm going to show you on the trimmer how we make this go. All right. So here's our, so we're going to take this white piece and we're going to glue it to that. Oh, sorry, that's not true. Hang on a moment. We need to cut the inside. So we're going to take the next die down. Let me just nest these so you can see what's happening. We're going to do it. So this is this. So you can see how it is. So now I want this next one, this one. Because I want to create the opening. I lied to you. One more die cut. What's everybody up to today for Father's Day? Celebrating the dads out there, hopefully. Okay. So I'm holding this together so that it limits the amount of movement the die will have as it's going through. Sometimes you can, if you wish, you can use Post-it tape or you can use washi tape. If you're going to use washi tape, depending on your washi tape, pull a piece off like so. And then sometimes it's a bit super sticky. So if that's the case, that's what you would do, is you would put the washi tape on there, but just maybe put it on your fingers or put it on your pants to make it not so, pardon me, sticky, because you don't want it to rip the paper when it comes off. I think washi tape's pretty good though. It won't do that. All right, now we're gonna glue the white piece. So keep this in your scrappy bins. So I have these little, just ignore that, but these are all the extra little bits. So I keep these. I don't know if you guys have something like that. Now we're gonna put this on like so. All right, I've already unstuck my glue. So just a little dab will do ya. We don't want it to ooze. Yesterday I worked out at the gym and then I went swimming. Always feel a little bit stiff after that. A good stiff though. And so every weekend, once the weather starts looking nice, the boys, well usually Zach now has to mow the lawn. But Zach has been going to driving school for 3 Saturdays. Last Saturday, yesterday, and then one more Saturday, which is why I've had to reschedule my live, is because Lance is working and Zach had to go to driving school. So he did not. I'm just gonna, before we cut this, I'm just gonna put together the base. He decided last weekend, a full day of school on Saturday, so he decided he wasn't going to mow the lawn and that he was going to do it next weekend. And so Lance was like, okay, well, it's just going to be really long. Like the grass is going to be really long, and it ultimately just takes longer because you have to, you know, clear out the bag sooner, and it's just heavy and long and thick. And anyway, so now it's been 2 weeks. The lawn is looking shaggy. Anyways, I feel sorry for him. It's gonna take him probably a couple of hours, I think. All right, cloud cover. I don't see any comments though. Are you all commenting? What are you up to for Father's Day, if anything? Or what are you up to on the Sunday? So really this section, that what we're doing is the trickiest part of the card. These layers are, you know, they're pretty straightforward. You're just cutting the layers and putting them on. I hope you'll try this. It doesn't have to be this designer series paper. You could frame up any designer series paper. Well, not anything with a image, you know? All right, so now, how will we deal with this? Watch this. All right, so let's get our trimmer and make a little bit of room. All right, so what we're gonna do is, okay, so see how on here there's these neck marks, these lines? And then here, there's one this way, but none this way. There isn't any here, but I used this to cover this up. Oh, I have to cut this piece. So when we're cutting this is about 1/4 of an inch, this white piece that's hanging over, and we're gonna cut it out using our trimmer and the score lines on our trimmer blade. I'm gonna show you. If you don't want those nicks, I'll show you, but if you do want the nicks, that it's a bit easier because you're just gonna cut all the way to the end. So we're gonna line this up. Let me show you. So this line here, so this is your cutting track. This is 1/4 of an inch, this is 1/2 an inch, 3/4 and 1 inch. So we're gonna go here to the 1/4 of an inch, all the way around. So we're lining that up in the 1/4 of an inch. We're getting rid of the score blade. We're gonna keep the cutting blade. Now you'll notice on the cutting blade, do you see how it has these little marks here? And here, and on this side too? That tells you that's where your blade tip is. So, and then if you wanted to, I don't have the right, these are centimeters, I think, and I should actually mark inches. But you would then line up where your blade is, where the tip of your blade is in here, and your measurement on the side. So what we're doing is we're lining this up to 1/4 of an inch. We're gonna do it with the nick marks. So you're essentially pushing this all the way until there's a bit of resistance, and then you're, whoops, and then you are, wait a minute, ½ inch. Pardon me, ½ inch, not ¼ inch. So I can't push it. There's some resistance. I don't want it to go all the way through. And same here. I don't want it to go all the way through. So this, I had it at ¼ inch, so it was cutting the blue, and I don't want that. It's ½ inch, pardon me. So ½ inch, and there's our piece there. So now I'm gonna turn this, going to ½ inch, putting the blade into the white, and I'm not paying any attention to the side pieces because for these sections, I'm just showing you the difference. So see, we've cut our side, but see how we have the nick pieces, the little nicks? So now what we're gonna do is no nicks. So I'm going to take my cutter and I'm going to line it up. I'm gonna line up this piece, which is where my cutter is, to this line. Because if I go past it, it'll give me this, and I don't want that for this one. So I'm ½ inch, and I'm coming all the way down to where this line meets this line. And I'm coming all the way up, and I'm gonna go to about ¼ inch. I mean, mine is only centimeters. I don't know what a centimeter is for ½ inch, but you get the idea. So same, I'm gonna bring my cutting blade down this line to this line, so I know where it is. And same, I'm lining it up with this line. So it's a tiny bit off. You could put it back in the trimmer if you want to fuss with it. I do not want to fuss with it. So I'm just gonna do a little surgery. And this is how we make our frame. So you can see with the lines and without the lines. So you can decide what your preference is. And practice a little bit. What do you think? Still working on Father's Day cards, Carissa. Today's the day, girl. All right, before we do this, I need to cut my sentiment piece, which I forgot. We're gonna use this little guy here. Here and here. Lori said, I'm studying today. Classes I have on Tuesday. Oh, good for you, Lori. Doing class. I have to work today as well, similar to classes. We're going on a trip, and because I started my new job, I don't really have any holidays to take. So I'm working a bit of overtime to kind of make up for it. All right, let's stamp our sentiment. So this, oh, I have to show you how to mount these. Okay, so I'm gonna go thinking of you, and then hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories. It's a nice sentiment. All right, so find your, what did I say? Thinking of you, I think. So pop this out. Thinking of you. Then where's my other one? Hoping. It's kind of tricky because they're all backwards. Maybe I'll do it later. I don't want to slow us down. So let's just do the one. Okay, so here's our thinking of you. You're going to take this piece off. That's garbage. Line this up on your workstation so that if you're stamping it, it's how you want it to be, like so. Now, this is just one way to do this. There's a few different ways you can do it. Do what works for you. This is just what works for me. I'm gonna give you the caveats though. Here's your two-sided sticker. Try not to get your fingers all over that. And it's got two pieces on here so you can pull it apart, like so. Now you're going to try not to touch the sticker. You get one shot at this. This might be too much pressure for some people, or if you shake, my dad used to shake all the time. This would not be a good, and you're just going to put it on your stamp. Once it goes down, if you don't get it right the first time, you're committed. You don't get a second go. And that stresses people out sometimes. It's fine for me. I'm good with it. The other way to do this, here, hope. Oh, it's a big scripty H. Should be able to find it. There it is. Scripty H. All right, so another way to do this is, so you can do this, get rid of that. Some people will take, if you have a way to do this, put it in the comments. It's kind of hard to say it. So they pull off one side. Here's your stamp, obviously not opposite the way I did it. So take your stamp this way, and they're gonna line it up in the negative space, like so. Just one side is not, just one side. You see I haven't undone the other side. So that's that. Now you're going to take off the other side. So this stamp, it's not really a big deal. I probably could have taken the whole thing off, but if you have a much bigger stamp, it would be more valuable to maybe not take the whole thing off. So that's another way. And then there was a way, Kate, the West Coast Paper Crafter, can't remember how Kate did it. I think she put them on a block and then stamped it. Not sure. Can't remember. All right. Gail, what are the frames called? The frames are called textured note dies, and they go with this stamp set. Willow's chair is in the way. It goes with the textured notes. These two go together. Textured note dies and the textured note stamp set. And then the designer series paper is called Beautiful Gallery. Okay, I'm stamping. So thinking of you on our little just fits. We're coordinating. So just tap, tap gentle. If you're getting ink on the block or on this red rubber around here, you're pushing too hard. Tap, tap gentle. See how very fine scripty font that is? Very gentle. Nailed it. All right, now let's do the inside of our card. So same, tap, tap gentle. See, I didn't get any there. Try not to rock it. You shouldn't have to rock it. You're welcome, Gail. Still looking for those stamp sets, by the way. Haven't forgot about you. So see how this is a bit thick here and not so thick there? Just want you to see this. Oh, it's okay. I thought it would smudge down here. Oh, a little bit down there. It's a little bit smudgy because there's too much happening there. So when you have very fine stamps like this, just the most gentlest touch. And if you're not sure, like if you're not sure how your pressure is, then just practice a few times for tap, tap gentle. All right, so I am lining up. I don't need the squishy mat because these have the gray foam in there, but I'm using it anyways. Nailed it. All right, that's done. Let's put this away. And we're gonna do the frame. So we're gonna use dimensionals, whoops, for this. It's optional. You could just glue it down if you wish. I want to have a little bit of pop. Ooh, this is the perfect one for the corner piece. It's actually a great option, these side pieces, to help pop up the, okay, that might be a little overkill on my dimensions, but whatever. All right. So next Saturday is a demonstrator event called Creativity Now. And we're using a brand new stamp set called Peaceful Something. It's got doves and some different things. So we're doing, I think there's 4 projects. So Kate was over yesterday helping put together some kits. So it's a team event, in person or virtual. And so it's a virtual event hosted by Stampin' Up, and I'm just kind of doing like a watch party with the team. And it starts at 9 o'clock. Kind of want that to be, does that look weird if I did it right there? Tell me what you think. And then if I did this, does that look weird? Or should I do it more in the center? I kind of feel like it cuts off the flower a bit, you know? This one, it didn't matter so much because the scene was all behind. Tell me what you think. So next Saturday, my live will be on Sunday as well. Can't wait for Facebook to catch up. Tell me. And this piece is gonna go like this. I think I want to do it there, but it looks weird, doesn't it? Gail says to the side. Because it cuts off that flower. I should have cut this piece differently. Anybody else? No? Right, I'm going off to the side. Hope nobody else says something different because I've committed now. And we're going to add this little piece here. So this one has the designer series paper from there, which adds a nice hue. Oh, thanks, Debbie. Debbie says side 2. Good thing you said side, Debbie, because I already committed. All right. So I think the little nicks in the white piece, I don't even know that you'd notice it if I hadn't said something. So if it stresses you out to, have that kind of precision with the lines and stuff, I think you're fine. Yeah, it works out good, I think. All right, so this is popped. My sentiment is longer, so just be mindful. We're gonna add just to the left and right of it, to have it pop. I'm out of tall dimensionals. Okay, I'm committing, let's do a little bit of glue here, just to be extra sure. Okay, and now, gems. What are these? Basic gray and smoky slate pearls. Sure. Let's do this one. Then we're going to be finished. Thanks for hanging out with me on a Sunday. Newsletter link is in one of the very first comments if you would like to participate or like to be on the list. And I'm going to start doing a PDF. So normally I have the measurements and a link to the YouTube video, but I made myself a little chat GPT that's going to make my PDFs for me because I'm fancy. So I'm going to add that to the newsletter. So you get that every week. So you could print them or save them. So you'll have a copy of the photo of the project, and then you'll also get the measurements and instructions on how to put it together. So that's that. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you next Sunday. And then after that, we'll go back to the usual scheduled time at 9 a.m. I hope you have a fantastic Father's Day weekend and enjoy the rest of your time. Bye for now.